Man, I think everything's going well, man. We're doing a lot of different multiple things that the guys like a lot. So I think it's a really good fit. We have the guys that can mesh into a lot of different things, whether it's three, four, whatever it may be. Man, so we're just finding the best thing for those guys to fit into, getting it going with them. But honestly, man, they're flying around. They took it on well and able to run with it.
I mean, going into spring ball, what were some of the I guess the key aspects you kind of wanted to focus on with this group?
Man, I think the key aspect for me was just the biggest thing, effort, effort. I don't want to come in the spring. I mean, there's no ones, there's no twos, there's no threes, there's no fours. I just want to see who's going to come in and bust their tail for 15 practices and who going to come in each day and it's going to mean something to them, mentally and physically ready to go. That was my biggest goal, number one, going into the spring.
When you switch, oh, sorry, go ahead. Oh, when you switch to a 3 or a format from as a coach, what is that? What's the difference for you as far as adjusting, or is it not that much of an adjustment for you?
I mean, there's a lot of different adjustments going into a different modes that those guys are going to have to play in. But like I said, man, we'll do some different things, so they're not going to just stay in this or that. I mean, but it's a lot of different adjustments. But those guys enjoy it, and as a coach, I'm prepared for whatever adjustments need to be made.
What about the players? Like, do you sense that it's so far? Like, you're looking for effort, but like, do you sense that you're seeing some maybe different benefits to it this early in the spring?
I mean, I think up front with D line play, it always starts with effort, but also on top of that, man, you see a lot of guys put into positions to where they are striving a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's versus the run versus the pass, you see a lot of different techniques that these guys are working and honing in on and actually doing a great job with. So I just definitely think that it's all about we were able to put them in a really good position and they understand how to play these schemes. They understand how to play the modes, and man, they're running with it right now.
How has it been working with Barnes? I know you're team coordinator,
Uh-huh.
getting adjusted and everything. How has it been just filling out, how his mind works and
Man,
communicating?
it's been fun and interesting. It's been fun and interesting going into it, man. Definitely. When you go into with a new DC, you always wonder, hey, what's going to be the new things you're going to do? You always want to have a book full of questions, and you want to get the answers to them. But man, it's been fun. He's an energetic guy. He's a guy that means something to him, and also he's a guy who definitely loves his D lineman as well, man. So it's always good to have a DC who has a special spot for the D line, man. So I've enjoyed him. I've enjoyed him for sure.
I know defense, especially the D line,
Yeah,
love energy.
yeah.
Love energy. That's what y'all do. I guess how beneficial is it to have a coordinator who is energetic in that way?
It's very beneficial because at the end of the day, all of the present things we do in the moment is going to strive off of energy. At the end of the day, we got to set the tone, and at the end of the day, you say setting the tone up front is how you win games, and also you don't set the tone is how you lose them. So we have a DC who sets the tone, how he sets the tone each and every day, and then it's going to bleed over to the D line. It's going to start with us up front and move all the way to the back end to the DBs, man. But definitely, man, we're big on knowing each day we're going to set the tone, and our DC is going to hold us to it, hold us accountable, both players and coaches.
What's it been like kind of seeing maybe Duckworth, Cameron Jackson, Mo White, some of those experienced reps? How have they been kind of leading the charge, setting that effort that you want to see?
Man, it's been great because, like I told those guys, some of those guys have been together for 3 years now. And at the end of the day, those guys have had playing experience. And it's a group of guys who understand each other. The chemistry is great. They mesh well with each other, and also they know how to push each other's buttons. They know how to push one another, how to be there for one another, and also they understand like, hey, we leave practice today. Those three guys are going to be together studying film, studying the playbook, and things like that. So you're not coming into a group of guys nobody knows one another. You're coming into a group where all of those guys in there have been together during all of them came in here together. So man, it's great. It's great to have a group that's a veteran group, still some work to do, but that meshes well and gels well.
With Cameron, I mean, like, obviously being the younger of those three guys,
Yeah.
what's been the biggest change for him where he's maybe taken a step forward, now being in here for 2-3 years now?
Yeah, man, he's coming out of his shell a lot, and like I said, you can't walk in a room and miss Cam. I mean, he's a huge human being, but Cam's coming out of his shell, and Cam is turning into that player that I always knew he can be. I mean, it's amazing each day when you see him. I mean, heck, Cam's a guy. Sometimes you look at him, he's just unblockable. He's just a big body who's really, really athletic and does some great things, man. So it's amazing to see that kid blossom.
What is it? I mean, just, you mentioned being unblockable. Like, what was it about him when he gets here? Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
he had some big recruiting and everything, but like, what was it about him that's made him like, okay, this guy is different from most freshmen?
Because when you see a guy his size, 6'6", heck, over 300 pounds, but moves how he moves, with a guy who's just violent, physical at the point of attack, violent hands, and he's the type of guy like a big kid running through school. running around and doesn't know how fast or how strong they are. But then when they do stuff, they be like, wow, I did that. He's that type of guy. He's that type of guy, man. But he's just super athletic for his size. He just doesn't know his ability or his potential. I mean, it's through the roof.
There is something to say about that. Like, as good as he is, for a player to not even realize all the things that he can do, when he realizes that, I mean, his potential wise, you think this is going to jump when he realizes that, oh, I am this big. I am.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
like,
definitely. I definitely think with him and a lot of other players, I mean, once they're able to, like, when he sits and watch film and be like, oh, I did that, or oh, wow, that's me. I mean, when he sees things like that, that's what makes him realize, oh, I am capable. I am able to do these things. And each day he goes out and understand, okay, if I did this yesterday, how can I get better with that? And he's grown so much. He went from, if you go walk in a room, he'll barely talk, to now he'll lead, he'll say things, he understands the playbook, he understands what he's doing when he's on the field. And so it just gets exciting. He literally opens his eyes more and more each day and realizes, oh man, I can be a really, really good player. Not just coach tell me I can be good, but now I really see it.
What about some of the other young guys? I know you were talking about the Jan Stewarts, William Whitlow, and with the scrimmage. How are they kind of developing now, getting some of their feet wet?
Man, they're developing really well. When it's just a William Whitlow who's really playing some really good snaps for us right now, doing some great things. Zy Brockington, who I'm loving a lot right now, going through the spring. He's been very consistent, hardworking. James Stewart is also showing up to give some depth up front for us as well. And other guys like Meonte Kimbrough, Coyote Oladole, who's been here for a while as well. Man, it's like a lot of guys are stepping into that role of where you expect them to be, and are actually running with it and doing some great things. So, man, I'm definitely excited about them. Appreciate it.